Welcome to AminAcademy.com, the history of Muslim world. Let us discuss about the mode of administration of the Abbasids. The Abbasids held sway irrespective of the rank and creed for a period of over 500 years. The Caliph was not simply the head of the administration, he was the chief representative of the state and leader of the faithful. The emperors selected their successors during their lifetime, after which the emirs and chief officials of the state would swear allegiance to them. The ceremony of swearing allegiance was always performed with great pomp. The caliphate was an autocracy under the Umayyads, and in a great measure, so it combined to be during the early period of the Abbasid rule. But this autocracy was converted into a limited and temperate monarchy under the great Harun. Henceforth, the Caliph acted with the advice and cooperation of a council of state which consisted of representatives of all sections of the community. In the provinces, no governor was permitted to hold sway for too long a period of time. Spies were employed in different parts of the empire for the collection of important news. On the whole, it may be said that the chief objects of the Abbasid sovereigns was not mere acquisition of a territory, but the security, peace, and welfare of their subject population. The mode of administration which prevailed in their empire was very similar to the mode which prevails in the civilized countries of the modern world. Now, we'll discuss further about the Abbasid Caliphate was a monarchy that was known for its cultural revival, intellectual development, and tolerance. The government, the Abbasids used bureaucrats to govern their territories, and they gave equal opportunities to all the Muslims community. They also created new positions such as the vizier and emir to delegate power. The Abbasids favored mud or backed bricks, which allowed them to build large architectural complexes at a low cost. Samarra is an example of this, which it vast palaces and mosques. Culture. The Abbasids supported a multi-ethnic and multi-religious environment, which had led to a golden age of Islam. Baghdad became a center of science, culture, and invention and was known as the center of learning. Tolerance. The Abbasids removed discrimination between new and old Muslims and provided equal opportunities to all. Non-Muslims also adopted aspects of Islamic culture such as dress, grooming, and naming practices. Religion. The Abbasids were the spiritual head of a church and commonwealth, and they represented the divine government. They maintained an unbroken line of caliphs for over 3 centuries. Now, further discussion. The Muslim empire stretched in those days over a vast extent of territory. The Berbers of Africa and nomads of Turkestan, the Saracens of the Arabian deserts, the people of Syria, Mesopotamia, Persia, Armenia, Egypt, and Spain, all were included within the orbit of Islamic rule. It was the authority to one sovereign and the pursuits of one religion faith which had made it possible for such a vast and far-flung empire to remain as a united and harmonious whole for such a length of time. The Abbasids continued to exercise authority from AD 750 to 1258, around 500 years. The seat of sovereign authority having been transferred from Syria to Iraq, the tide of material prosperity and social advancement also set in from of the west to the east. The first 8 sovereigns of the Abbasid dynasty had ruled with a great wisdom and administrative ability. A French historian says that the reign of the first Abbasid was the chief glory of the Saracens. The Umayyads had trusted entirely to their military power and resources, but however powerful an empire may be, it can never be upheld by military strength only. The subject people anywhere entertained feeling of hostility towards the Umayyad sovereigns. From Kufa to Khorasan, the seeds of discontent had been sown everywhere. Meanwhile, the governors of distant provinces had begun to claim independent sovereignty for themselves, and thus the empire had begun to disintegrate and fall into pieces. Added to this was the sensuality and wickedness of individual caliphs, their conceit, their injustice, and their insatiable greed for luxury. All this had contributed to the progressive decay and downfall of the Umayyads. The predominance which Islam had enjoyed under the Holy Prophet and the first Caliph was largely lost under the Umayyads. Besides, Islam itself has begun to be split up into thousands different sects, and the rulers of the empire had begun to lose confidence in the ordinance of their faith. The tyrannous cruelty of rulers like Hajjaj was enough to alien, alienate the sympathy of the subject population. So far, we discussed about mode of administration of the Abbasid. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.